This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry, and I've got a little surprise for you. We're finally back in our home office. Sometime between the Christmas and New Year's break, a pipe burst in our office and it sent us out of here. Now, I went back and looked. That was on January 9th that we did our first show out of here, but now we're back again. So let's get to the news. The UAW strike shows no signs of slowing down, but now GM and Ford are sort of turning the tables on the union. The UAW went on strike at part of Ford's Wayne assembly plant, so Ford laid off the rest of the 600 workers at the plant who were not on strike, and GM laid off 2,000 workers at its Fairfax plant that makes the Cadillac XT4 and Chevrolet Malibu. That's because the union shut down the Wentzville plant that makes the Chevrolet Colorado and GMC Canyon pickups, but it also makes stampings for the Fairfax plant. We're likely going to see more of this if the union expands its strike to other plants. It makes no sense for the car companies to keep plants open if they can't get the parts that they need. And it also puts pressure on the union because if it strikes more plants, more of its members are going to get laid off. Fitch Ratings says that the Detroit Three have plenty of liquid cash assets to withstand a long strike, but it warned that a strike that lasts for several months could erode their liquidity and potentially affect their credit ratings. At the end of June, GM reported that it had $46 billion in cash, securities, and accounts receivable. Ford had $40 billion, and Stellantis had over $52 billion. The UAW started with $825 million in its strike fund. So both sides have quite a war chest. However, none of them want to spend all that money or even a chunk of it. So hopefully they'll find a resolution to this before the month is over. But most people are unfamiliar with the kind of compensation that UAW workers get. So let's lay it out for you. At General Motors, workers who are in progress or in transition have a total compensation package worth $116,000 a year. In progress or in transition refers to workers who were hired after 2007. It takes them 8 years to transition to full wages, and at that point their total compensation package rises to $141,000 a year. One of the union's demands in a new contract is to slash that 8-year transition to only 90 days. The automakers are offering to cut it to 4 years. Meanwhile, skilled tradespeople earn $171,000 a year. Now, that's not what all these workers see in their paychecks. It includes wages and all of their benefits, such as bonuses, overtime, profit sharing, healthcare, and retirement payouts. GM says that if you blend the in-progress, the traditional, and the skilled trades packages together, each UAW worker costs the company an average of $134,000 a year. The UAW wants to increase that significantly, while the automakers want to try and keep a lid on any increase. Also, it is important to note that this does not include temporary workers who earn far less than those who are full-time. Chinese EV maker NIO is really the only company that has had any sort of success with battery swapping, and it just hit another milestone. Gasgoo reports that it opened its 1,800th swapping station in China. In 2023, NIO has built 500 new locations, which will help service the refreshed version of the EC6 that's launching in a unique fashion. It first revealed the new model sometime after we recorded our show on Friday, but it immediately put the SUV up for sale to customers. It's the last vehicle in NIO's lineup to transfer to its NT 2.0 platform, which offers a number of upgrades. Either a 75 or 100 kilowatt hour battery pack is available, which power two electric motors that combine for 360 kilowatts or 482 horsepower and acceleration of 4.4 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. The new platform also features an NVIDIA operating system that controls the advanced driver assistance system, which includes LiDAR as standard, as well as the new digital experience for passengers. Pricing for the EC6 starts at roughly $49,000 and $57,000, depending on the battery size. Or customers can buy the vehicle for just over $39,500 and lease the battery for $135 or $230 a month, again, depending on the battery size. Speaking of milestones, Tesla hit a few of its own. It recently installed its 50,000th Supercharger globally, which is located in California. It's a unique unit, painted in the same ultra-red color as some models and with a numbered plaque at its base. The other milestone is that Cybertruck reservations now reportedly top a whopping 2 million. This is according to a Google spreadsheet that's updated with crowdsourced information. Elon Musk once bragged that the Cybertruck got 250,000 reservations within the first week of its unveiling. But a lot has changed since then, maybe most notably the pricing. So, how many reservations it can convert into buying customers will be a question. But if Tesla can build the Cybertruck in good volume, there's clearly a lot of initial buyer interest. China's Ministry of Industry and Information posted images of the Chevy Equinox EV just ahead of the model's debut in the country. This is the RS version, which looks pretty much the same as the one shown in the US. The Equinox EV is slightly longer and taller than a Tesla Model Y, but it's not as wide. The Chinese version will be manufactured by GM's joint venture with SAIC, while the US version will be made in Mexico. GM said the entry-level Equinox will start around $30,000 in the US, and it will arrive at dealerships this fall. GM's struggles to produce batteries continues, and it's forcing the automaker to halt production of its Bright Drop electric van in October. The line at its plant in Ontario, Canada, will be down until next spring due to a battery module delay. That's when the plant will launch its own battery module line to support production. GM blames the battery module delays on a supplier and didn't reveal what the issue is, but it has sent an engineering team to the supplier to help resolve the problem. Lamborghini and Ducati demonstrated vehicle-to-vehicle technology, or more specifically, vehicle-to-motorcycle technology. The two companies are working with the Connected Motorcycle Consortium to help standardize the safety system for cars and bikes. The test focused on the most dangerous accident cases for motorcycles, which involves a hard-to-see rider in relation to oncoming traffic and those that put motorcyclists where they can't see what's happening in front of them. The prototype bike has an additional screen on it to help warn the rider about any danger. In this phase of development, the goal is to help reduce the reaction time of the system to help limit the risk of an accident. And here's something kind of cool. Mercedes is helping colorblind people see the exhibits at its museum in Germany in more accurate color and contrast. It's offering special colorblind glasses for adults and children that have a filter which makes it possible to see an expanded spectrum. They're free with admission, and it sounds like a cool experience. But that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. Scheffler, we pioneer motion. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility. We want to know, what drives your testing? OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
At Scheffler, We pioneer motion. Electrifying mobility. Manufacturing smarter. Reducing CO2 emissions. Making energy production clean. Schaeffler pioneers motion to advance how the world moves.
At Teijin Automotive Technologies, we combine world-class composite materials expertise with cutting-edge designs because, frankly, there are better ways to lightweight vehicles. So lighten up with Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.